it's Davey from EndlesslyHeSaid. Today I'm doing a Q&A. I thought I would just catch you up with life as it's been a little while since I uploaded. I just put out my 15 records that changed my life video, but I know beyond that there's not really been any kind of timeline context of what's going on, so I thought I'd explain a little bit more. This coffee's good. I got it from Cardiff. I was in Cardiff last week with work. I didn't vlog any of it because I thought it was kind of just work based, and it was really fun. You can check out my Instagram, which I'll link here if you want to see some pictures from the trip. The wedding is getting very close. We are 45 days away and hopefully everything is in place. We have a meeting next week with the registry office to get that all organized. Other than a few minor details, getting that guest list finalized, getting those final preparations done, we're all set. Couldn't be happier. Let me talk about some video stuff for a minute. So I filmed my first collaborative video, which I will edit and have out next week. You'll be able to see that, and I'm pretty excited for it. It's kind of a music-based video, but it's also really interesting. Started filming a really big project that I've had in the pipeline for a long time, and I'm gonna start editing it and see how it comes together. I think there's gonna be a lot more moving parts than I've anticipated, but it's basically kind of what I've had in mind, like a goal for this channel for a long time. Record collections are still happening. I probably have about 5 or 6 more videos. For those of you that are enjoying that, that will kind of be the end of the record collection videos after that, and I will continually do some vinyl updates as that goes on. Work is busy, it's a little stressful. We are hiring new staff. We have just hired some staff and everything's moving. It's good though. I'm excited for summer. I'm excited for those kind of changes and getting refreshed and feeling good about things. The company's been really supportive. Really do appreciate working for a company that cares, and that's why I started at Lush. On to the reason that you're all here. Let's get on with the questions. So my first proper question comes from Holly Sanderson, and the first one is, what is your favourite tattoo you've got and why? In terms of experience, I wouldn't say this is my favourite experience, but it's certainly the one that comes first to memory. This is a Cure tattoo. It's like a blood flowers rose I've got inside my arm. I remember at the time, I think this is going back nearly 10 years, so it's one of my first tattoos that I've had. This tattoo artist, Pedro, was in town. He was in Coventry, and this other hardcore promoter that I knew had housed him up, and he was a vegan tattoo artist, and I was like deeply interested in it. This is completely not his style. I just went in with my own ideas of getting a Cure tattoo because Blood Flowers is my favourite record, and he did a really great job of it. But the experience was a little different. He wasn't in a studio, he was just at someone's house, and for anyone that's into tattoos, this was kind of sketchy. I remember eating vegan food. We had like vegan shepherd's pie, and then getting tattooed for like 2 or 3 hours on someone's bed. It was clean, like they put down all the stuff that they needed to do for it, and it certainly didn't get infected or anything. Certainly the most poignant memory. That being said, I do miss getting tattooed. It's been about a year since I last got tattooed. My most recent one was on my shin. I want local artists that are really good to work with, that are great at having good ideas, that fit the style as well. So I think once the wedding is done, start saving some money, start getting tattooed again. Holly had 2 more questions, so I'm going to answer those as well. Holly's second question is, what song means the most to you and why? There's 2 songs that really come to mind. The first one is by The Cure, and it's a song called There Is No If, and it's on the Blood Flowers album that I was just talking about. To me, that song is just heartbreaking, but it's also like, it's a love song, and so it really brings that together, and you can see how Robert was writing it for his Mary, I think his wife is. It's beautiful, and it reminds me of falling in love with Beth, who I'm about to marry. It's really sensational. The other song is This Time Imperfect by AFI. I spoke about this a little bit when I talked about my AFI records, but this song was on the end of Sing the Sorrow, and it was kind of like a B-side, but it was like not quite part of the album. It just really got through like those issues of like depression and needing support and reaching out to someone, and kind of like acknowledging that there is a darker side of life, but then also reaching out and getting that help. And that's why I really loved Sing the Sorrow, because I think it is important sometimes to have darker music that can help you through that kind of stuff. Not that you want to dwell on the darkness, but at the same time we can't be positive all the time. The third question that Holly asked was there a significant moment that made you decide to go vegan? Why I decided to go vegan, there was one line in a video called Meet Your Meat, which I think is still online. I'll link it below. In terms of what's out there with Earthlings and Cowspiracy and What the Health and other amazing documentaries that are beautifully done and put together well about exposing the animal agriculture industry and supporting animal rights. This is kind of small scale for it. The line in the film was, if you're drinking dairy, you're supporting the veal industry. See, the juxtapose with male both calves and chicks for the dairy and egg industry respectively is a bit of a heartbreaker. And I think as people who care about animals, we have to understand that a baby calf is born that is male. It's not really needed. It's not going to be put out for being a dairy cow. It's certainly not going to be grown for any extent. They have bulls that are in place that are impregnating these other cows, or they're using artificial impregnation for the female cows that produce the milk. So obviously a baby's born, if it's a male, it goes into veal, which is like baby cow meat. It's what lamb is to mutton. That was a big problem for me. I can't in good conscience keep drinking dairy milk, keep eating cheese, keep eating yogurt, anything like that, if I know that I'm contributing to that suffering. The other thing was about the male chicks, about how I realized this like a little bit later on. Like, I was appalled about battery hens. And I will say this now, I've been vegan for a while, but it wasn't until recently, like in the last 5 or 6 years, that I understood the torment that goes through for male chicks. Like, and I'd been vegan all this time. It was just, I went vegan because I thought that battery hens being in a box the size of an iPad, which maybe some of you are watching this on right now, look at your iPad and think that's the size of a box that a chick or a chicken lives in that's gonna lay eggs. I didn't realize until I was vegan for a while that the male chicks that are born of that and the male chicks that aren't laying eggs just get ground up into pulp, or they get suffocated, or they get gassed, or they get put in the incinerator. One of those options. There's no egg industry in the world that doesn't not do that. So I was appalled. And that was the other thing that like kept that fire going, like kept me wanting to be vegan for the longest time. That's the vegan part of this video over. Onto things that are a little bit more music based. So my friend Matt McKay asked another question, so we're just going to keep it to these 4 questions. This will be the last one. Thank you, Matt, for asking the question. He just got married, he had a beautiful wedding. I hope him and his wife Sarah are having lots of fun. He asked, what band would you fill in for and what would you play? Like, which would be your dream band? I'd love to fill in for either Advent or Seventh Star, Venia, or Call to Preserve. Any of those 4 Christian hardcore bands, and do vocals. I'd love to just do a guest vocal spot and do that. That would be one of them. They're not big bands, but I just would love to do that, and I think it would just really ignite that fire of wanting to do spirit-filled hardcore. I thought about if I would want to play with The Cure or AFI or Brand New or something, but then I thought if I played with those bands, I just wouldn't want to mess it up. I wouldn't want to mess up that music for me, so yeah. I'd rather be participating in the crowd with that music or grab the mic to do a little bit of vocals with those bands. Okay, so that's the end of the Q&A video. I hope you enjoyed the life update, the questions answered. If you have any more questions for another Q&A video, drop them in the comments below. That would be fantastic. Smash the like button, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. If you've not already and you're watching this video, it just does the world of wonder to subscribe. Click that little red button or my face at the end of the video and you can see the videos when they come in and check out the ones that you enjoy. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all soon. Take care.